It's that flow, no, she my flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that
The real enemy on the world's highest battlefield. The Siachen Glacier, in northern Kashmir, is regarded as the world's highest battlefield. India and Pakistan both claim the area and have thousands of soldiers stationed there. It can be a deadly posting, but not because of ongoing fighting, as BBC Radis Abid Hussain reports. At Siachen, heroes are not made from a hail of bullets or under enemy mortar fire. For the men posted at altitudes that range from 13,000 to 22,000 feet, 4,000 to 6,700 meters, death mostly comes from freezing temperatures, falls into crevasses or from being swept away by avalanches. Since the conflict started in April 1984, Pakistan and India have lost between them close to 2,500 soldiers, according to official figures. Unofficially, some put this figure at between 3,000 and 5,000. Nobody disputes that about 70 of all deaths at Siachen have been due to the harsh weather and terrain. In fact, since India and Pakistan signed a ceasefire agreement in November 2003, not a single soldier from either side has died due to a battle wound. You have to understand that the soldier's biggest enemy is nature, frigid weather and the lack of oxygen, not the troops stationed across from them, one medical doctor and Pakistan Army veteran said. Like several of the soldiers I interviewed, he asked not to be named. The worst loss of life in a single incident occurred 5 years ago, on April 7, 2012, when 140 members of Pakistan's Northern Light Infantry were buried in an avalanche. Ice and rock up to 150 feet deep in places engulfed the Pakistan Army's Gauri Sector Battalion headquarters, 20 miles west of Siachen. Last year, India suffered a similar incident when a massive ice wall came crashing down on an Indian post, killing all 9 men there. None of this has ended the military standoff, despite multiple rounds of talks. Since the November 2003 ceasefire, troops posted to the glacier have had little to do. They spend between 4 and 6 hours a day manning their posts or going on patrol. But daily life still brings great challenges at the glacier. Postings at Siachen mean preparing for a war against terrain that is inhospitable and cruel. Temperatures average around 20 C throughout the year and plummet to 50 C in winter. The wind chill adds another layer. But the biggest problem is lack of oxygen. The one thing we all take for granted is breathing, and that is often the most difficult thing to do here, said an army major, who had recently returned after serving 8 months at a height of 18,000 feet. Trivial tasks such as shaving, going to the bathroom or brushing your teeth are treacherous because using cold water in extreme cold can lead to frostbite or, at worst, amputation. Preparing food is essentially a full-time job because the high altitude and low atmospheric pressure mean it takes 3 or 4 hours to cook lentils and rice. Pakistan Army Colonel Amir Islam, deputy commander for Siachen 323 Brigade, said that before being sent to Siachen, soldiers had to undergo rigorous training at the Army's School of Mountain Warfare. There they are taught how to acclimatize, give first aid, climb safely and move from one post to another while avoiding crevasses. The primary purpose of this training is to ensure that, more than anything else, the soldiers are able to carry out their daily tasks while surviving on barely sufficient oxygen, Khalil Islam said. Often supplies are dumped to last up to 12 months. According to the medical officer, meals prepared using the military-grade dry food supplies were barely edible. To begin with, there is little appetite, he said. Then, for the first 2 weeks of my posting, I was nauseous every single time I ate. It is something you'd never want to see, let alone eat. I had lost 22 kilograms by the time I went back home. The major said the hardest part of a posting to Siachen was working out what to do all day. You don't know what to do next. All we have is each other, and that is what we do. We talk.